Good evening. It's time now for a GB News exclusive. I can reveal that radical hard-left groups are merging and mobilising, and they're planning to wreak havoc in the coming days. Climate fanatics and the pro-Palestine mob could be the two most hated groups in Britain. And from this weekend, a new environmental group has formed an unholy alliance with Palestine Action. Say hello to Youth Demand. The group started as Just Stop Oil students, and it's asking volunteers if they are willing to be arrested, potentially ruining young people's futures by shamelessly encouraging them to get a criminal record. Now, they want the government to do two things: to end oil licensing and production and cease trading weapons with Israel. And they're willing to go to extreme lengths to make it happen. Here is GB News reporter Charlie Peters speaking to an organiser of Youth Demand.
If you look closely, it is the same broken political system that is driving genocide on both fronts. The Tories and Labour are driving these policies that are going to kill millions of people. They basically place no value whatsoever on human life. And we can clearly see this in Gaza.
Well, it's all about to kick off this weekend in what can only be described as a kids' camp from hell. The group set out their plans. Sunday, the 7th of April, gathering in the evening. Monday, march and action. Tuesday, a rest day with an event in the evening and higher spice action. Wednesday, march and action collaboration with Palestine Action. Finishing up on Thursday as a youth assembly and a party. But let's take a look, OK, at this schedule for Wednesday in more detail. Collaboration with Palestine Action. Now, they're the group who have been smashing up British factories associated with Elbit, an Israel-based military technology company. Now, in just the last 48 hours, 13 of their members have been arrested. They also posted this from the underground cell that they call Link's Lair, which targeted an engineer at Elbit. The social media post slammed him as a war criminal and published his home address and contact details. The engineer separately had his car vandalised. Michael Gove has reportedly planned on labelling Palestine Action an extremist group, but so far no action has been taken. Now, I ask this, OK? Should the police not take preemptive action now? We are publicly revealing what they're going to do, what their aims are, when it's happening. Do our police force not have a duty to step in now and stop it? So look, here's a little bit more of what we know, OK? So graduates from Just Stop Oil have seen the hate marches and thought, I fancy a piece of that action. They've expanded their course to include the war in Gaza and then teamed up with Palestine Action. Here is the kind of person that we're talking about.
There comes a time when we have to put our bodies on the streets and on the roofs, to put our bodies in a place which will slow the trade of bombs being dropped on civilians. We will stand up and be counted. The existence of anyone who must live their life as an unequal is a torture for all of us to bear.
Well, I'm joined now by GB News reporter Charlie Peters, who unearthed this shocking story. Charlie, thank you very, very much. This all sounds rather sinister and probably should be stopped.
Well, the Youth Demand Group is saying that they want to oppose genocide from the Rosebank oil fields to the West Bank in Palestine. And that's why they've linked up with this group, Palestine Action, as you say, currently reportedly being assessed as a potential extremist group. And when I raised this new link that we've uncovered between this Just Stop Oil youth movement and Palestine Action, I got this reaction from the policing minister, Chris Philp, who told me that criminality has no place on our streets, and that includes so-called protesters causing criminal damage and serious disruption to threaten and intimidate the law-abiding majority. He went on to say that we will not stand for Just Stop Oil, Palestine Action, or any other group considering combining forces and crossing the line. We have given police powers to tackle criminal actors, whatever their guise, and will go further to ensure officers have the tools they need to prevent serious disruption and disorder. The police continue to closely monitor and prepare for any protests that could see criminality, and we are confident officers will do all they can to stop any groups breaking the law. Well, I also got further reaction while uncovering this new link. Lord Walney, the government's independent advisor on political violence and disruption, telling me that this new link is an unholy alliance and said that it reflects a wider trend of militant Gaza protesters linking up with environmentalists. And that is a new alliance that I will be revealing tomorrow in a new GB News Investigates documentary available on our membership platform on our website. It has attracted significant reaction because Chris Philp last week, the policing minister, did say that Palestine Action was inciting criminal action with a manual that it had released. And so this new link between what is commonly known as a non-violent group in the form of Just Stop Oil and Youth Demand, linking up with a more direct and disruptive organisation could represent a new stage of radicalisation for environmentalist groups who could potentially engage with more violent action. They say they're non-violent, but when I spoke to them yesterday, they also praised all of Palestine Action's violence, such as dismantling factories and vandalising cars.
Look, Charlie, thank you very, very much for that. It's fantastic work that you've done there. Charlie Peters' GB News Investigates documentary is exclusively available for GB News members, and you can see it at gbnews.com/membership.